Good morning. Yes, it is morning. Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 11:07 a.m. My goodness, as you can see, my hair's wet, so I'll be dripping everywhere. But I air dry my hair because it's so fine it breaks all the time. I've kind of run a comb through it and it's not good. It just breaks everything. But anyway, I've always been this way since early childhood. It's who I am. Brittle, fragile, but adorable and powerful in spite of my fragility. Like a delicate Fabergé egg. Cracked, but reconstructed into something fabulous, darlings. Do you like the story I made up to boost my ego this morning? You've got to create. As you speak, so shall you create. Abracadabra, the magic must happen, darlings. So, she hasn't pooed on me yet, I don't think. Anyway, I need to shout myself another witchy t-shirt. This one's got holes in it and it's a bit old, but it was my favourite. But oh well, it is what it is, darlings. Everything wears out over time, including me. But we can rejuvenate and revivify and begin again. I've done it a million times. I can do it. Or maybe not a million more because I'm getting older and a bit more broken down, but I can probably do it a few more times, have a few more uprisings in me. I must say, it's one thing I've learnt in the last 10, 20 years even, is how powerfully resilient I am. But it's not nice when evil, rotten, foul people keep trying to break you down. It's not nice. It's not cricket, it's not necessary, could have done without all that horror, but here we are, still making my video logs and dancing my dance and trying very every day, very intrepidly to live my best life. So, West End drumming's on this afternoon at 4:30. Belinda thinks the weather will clear up. It's looking pretty murky out there at the moment, rainy and grey skies to match my soylent grey, boring, soul evacuated, fucking half dead looking neighbourhood. But so we introduced some colour into our life by bringing Charlie into the purview. What have you got to say for yourself, Charlie? Say hello to the people. Say, hello people of Earth, I'm Charlie and I've got a lot to say. Mostly just kisses. You know, send the people of Earth kisses. Some people out there would like to have rainbow lorikeet kisses. They want to know that there's birdies in the world who are free spirits, and although they're pets, live as free and as wild as your mama can possibly allow you to for safety issues, because you can't live in the trees with the wild birds because you don't have the training or the survival skills, Charlie. But I'm quite sure sometimes you wish you could sleep out there with the wild birdies. I don't think she does, actually. Have you seen the videos where she just stares at the wild birds and runs to me for protection? So I think she's quite realistic about the fact that she'll never be a completely wild bird. But we can be wild in our own dreaming, Charlie. We know that we're wild. Our hearts remain wild, Charlie. We remain forever untamable and non-compliant with the bullshit. Yeah, she had shit on me. I thought she had. Anyway. Well, Mama started out clean. She had a nice shower. Anyway, that's not going to remain this way if I keep her up on my shoulder for much longer. But she's a free birdie and her poopykins run free. And that's her shtick, isn't it? That's your shtick. Let me kiss. But Mama wants kisses. All right, let's focus on get with the program, people. We're going to read today's Memories of Even date, the 25th of February 2024, and it's entitled Redemption, Reclamation, Recycling of Old Worn Out Associations, Onwards and Upwards. And here I post, have to laugh at myself sometimes. I'm not exactly a very good artist, but there's my socks I painted. Did I paint that before his passing or after his passing? I think it was before. I had socks on one side of the drawers and Beauregard on the other. So it's a pretty good depiction of him. There's the folk art I did underneath. And my big hobbits' feet. Now I've lost those amber anklets. I'll have to buy some more amber and make another anklet, because I found it very grounding and healing, believe it or not. Probably just in my imagination, but I liked it, so I must get another one. Another amber from the Baltic. So anyway, finished the bookshelves on 22nd of February 2022. My beautiful socks, rest in peace. (25th of February 2023). I was utterly exhausted all day from dancing last night. Same yesterday. I pour out so much energy, my goodness. But it's I do it quite willingly and freely and happily and joyously. So, no regrets. But the next day, I'm always very, very depleted and exhausted. My asthma is bad too. But this afternoon, I managed to wire up the fire bricks to an old cast iron grill to make a casting and or soldering or annealing station. I was too tired to fire up the torch, still nervous of my new gas torch setup, so I wanted to be clear-headed and alert when I practice it for the first time. I also, my lips feel like they're peeling. I also remade the mould, so hopefully I will feel ready tomorrow to have a go at it. The mould being I was making a Yoda pendant out of a Star Wars Yoda toy. That took some doing, lots of practice. It took me to get it right, but eventually I got there. Charlie looks like an angel or a harpy, depending on your preference. Liquor or liqueur. It's all licorice or limericks to me. Can you tell I wore myself out dancing last night? My brain is scrambling. And it was a meme that says, the tree has been drinking. And it's a very, very wonky tree. But I get the feeling that it's a happy tree. It looks very happy to me, very fluid, dancing tree. It does look a bit like an angel too, with its two fronds up in the air. Could also be a harpy. But yeah, it's on some golf course somewhere. They show you they show you the bottom of the photo. Charlie, stop licking all the salt block. It's not for birdies. 25th of February 2022. Yesterday and today have felt deeply spiritual. It's been pouring with rain since last night. I moved through the morning watching shows on YouTube, then got a powerful urge to go buy groceries. Ugh, I must have been really hungry because I fucking hate buying groceries. Oh dear goddess. I was told by my intuition or spirit guide, this was unusual. It's why I wrote about it. Being told to go to a particular place to buy groceries, because I go different places. Like have no allegiance to any particular supermarket brand, or so it was odd that I was being directed to go to a certain place, right? I was told by my intuition or spirit guide to go to Aldi at Stones Corner. Money is very tight this fortnight as I had to pay out $400 on bills. Situation's the same this week too. So my Rego goes out and my Optus goes out, and I'm just riding a very fine razor blade this fortnight. But I feel swollen and just feels like I'm peeling inside my mouth. Hope I'm not. Feels funny. It's a funny sensation. There's always something wrong with me, people. Always. Every day, no matter what, there's some fucking thing wrong with me, which is why I get a little bit sick of being sick and depressed. But I'm not sick, but I've just got this weird tingling sensation. Probably getting herpes simplex or something. That could be it. When I get run down, I get cold sores. But it doesn't feel like cold sores. It feels like the skin's peeling off, like it's aggravated. Maybe I bit down on it in my sleep. That might be it. I hesitated about going to do the grocery shopping. It will cut things very fine indeed. Go to Stones Corner came back the order. I don't like taking orders from either corporeal entities or discarnate ones. I considered going to my local Aldi instead, as it is closer and it's raining. No, go to Stones Corner, came the reply a third time. I have been intuiting a certain man who I try very hard to block, to forget, to not make any further contact. So I thought, why Stones Corner? Why today on such a dreary, wet but humid day? Why do anything at all? But I had a shower and washed my hair. I did not put on any makeup, not even lipstick. I have nothing to prove, and my face is my own. A kind of rebellion, my naked, sacred warrior goddess face. I did not wear a mask because, fuck it, I need every scrap of oxygen I can get, given I had asthma that day. And also, those masks were proven to just not really do a hell of a lot, really. It was all control, all about controlling the masses. I put on one of my beautiful silk sari wrap skirts that I have rarely worn. I chose a lilac coloured one. Must buy some more one day actually. I've got 3 lovely silk ones I bought at the same time, but they're getting a bit, they're getting a bit worn out now. I've worn them a lot. I love them. But yeah, they're expensive in a way, even if you buy them on sale, because you've got to pay in American dollars and postage and all that shit. But so one day, never mind, I'm having a moment here. I put on an old t-shirt that has a purple design on the front. I wore my Donai / Venus of Willendorf earrings. The choice of these particular earrings seemed somehow imperative. The goddess was with me. The divine feminine in all her juicy, fat fecundity. I put on my red sandals and tightened the buckles. Not a day to go stomping around in high heels, I thought. I felt powerful, empowered, and on a mission, which overlaid my usual exhaustion and undercurrent of anxiety, like a mantle of a mage. I drove to Stone's Corner and chose a parking spot on the top level close to the entrance. It was pissing with rain and I had no umbrella, but that didn't bother me as my hair was still wet from washing it. I ran a brush through it so it looked a bit more manageable, and I looked a little less crazy, right? I got out of the car and took the lift to go downstairs to Aldi. It was quiet in the shopping centre. I felt like I was being watched. A few people were sitting at a cafe. A very large Pacific Islander man was staring at me. I ignored it. He had a mask on, and I could not discern if I knew him as one of the security at the casino or that former pub I used to dance at. I think perhaps he was one of the security, as he kept staring as if he knew me, and I continued to ignore him. Resting bitch face is an art form, bitches, lol. I fumbled with my trolley token, dragging it out of my purse. I grabbed the trolley and stoically march into Aldi. I walk up and down the aisles, perusing all their wares with great intensity. I see they have a cheesemaker, but it's $50 and right now I can't afford it, so I reluctantly pass it by. Grrr. But all my resources last week, financial and psychic, went into manifesting, got competition, my new lawnmower. Hello. So that is enough for now. I must remain in a state of gratitude and grace, satisfied and triumphant. I'm a bit bored walking down the aisle, so I buy more food type goodies than I intended. Probably a psychological Miss 5 tantrum at not being able to afford the extra cash for the cheesemaker thingy. Instead I buy Swiss cheese as a treat, which is funny because I'm lactose intolerant and cheese makes me violently ill, but every now and then I just crave it and want some and take my chances. But anyway, kind of had to laugh how I put as a treat. It really is kind of a treat, but also a potential sickening thing. Oh dear goddess, you have to laugh. Next fortnight, I will not be struggling so badly as I only pay car rego every 3 months, and that is what slammed my budget this week. Fuck it. But I tell myself, you will survive. You always do, Tanya. And I push back the anxiety like a lion tamer with a long stool, flicking that beast back into its corner as it salivates and howls demonically. I laugh to myself. It's ridiculous, my entire life. But I rise in my energy field and tell myself, it's okay. It's all okay. I finish shopping and pay at the checkout and load my groceries into bags. I walk out of Aldi thinking, well, that job is done. so spirit can just leave me alone now. I start to walk to the elevator. Something tells me to go outside, perhaps have a coffee. Am I that bored? So I push my trolley outside and walk down the street a bit. It's raining torrents, and there are a few people at the cafes, but no one on the streets. And then I remember I can't sit at a coffee shop anyway, so what's the fucking point? Because this was during the mandates when the unvaccinated weren't allowed to go to restaurants or coffee shops or anywhere except to the supermarket to get groceries, which when you think about it is ridiculous. You were allowed to get groceries, but you weren't allowed to sit and have a coffee. Like, what's the fucking difference? It was completely insane. This is how I knew our entire world had gone completely psychotic and insane and making, arbitrary rules that made no sense. And the whole thing was just horse shit. But everybody complied with it, including me, right? Because what could you do? If they weren't going to let you in, they weren't going to let you in. But it was horse shit. And I'd walk past the coffee shops and I'd kind of look at them and think, you're all a bunch of wankers and idiots. And by the way, ultimately, you're all going to die anyway. Probably not of COVID either. Some other fucking thing will get you in the end. But they were all so frightened. Our whole society was filled with absolute terror over what? I mean, it wasn't nothing. When I caught COVID in October, I did feel a little bit crook, had a fever for 4 days and, but it was not that bad. I've had worse flus, man. I've had flus that nearly fucking killed me. 2022, I had that weird chest thing. My doctor refused antibiotics for because she's a genocidal cunt. But anyway, doesn't matter because ultimately I got through it like I've got through every other storm in my life. So I couldn't take this seriously. Everyone running around masked up, all living there, looking at you like this. And the 6 feet spaces the little feet in the supermarkets keeping you so many feet apart from people, which no one obeyed anyway, because human beings are like herd animals. And even Fauci admitted that was an arbitrary thing he just basically made up too. It's like, have they no shame to even now admit to it? Like, we've had a bit of a laugh at your expense, but guess what? It's all over now. We didn't achieve our goals, so we've got egg on our face. So we'll just kind of admit to you that we were a bit stupid too, but don't worry, trust me, I'm a doctor. I mean, it's just the whole thing. It's probably too early to laugh, but one day we will all be laughing at this. One day we'll see the funny side of it. Mr. Fauci de Minkia, fuckface. That's what I think of him. And don't worry, I'm not just doing this for social media. If I met him in real life, I'd do it right up in his face for real. So I stand by my truth. I'm completely fearless about the truth, unlike the rest of planet Earth right now. It's disturbing, people. It's truly fucking disturbing. Anyway, so I remembered looking at all the coffee shops that I couldn't go into. What is the fucking point, indeed? So, bemused with my angel that insisted I trawl outside the building for the edification of unseen eyes, I walked stolidly back inside the building. Feeling relieved that I had not had any weird encounters or possibly run into former zombie lovers or those weirdo Serbian playboys from the past that usually hang out at Stone's Corner and a part of the reason I usually avoid going there. Phew. Okay, I think. What that was about, I don't know. I keep walking to the elevator. Suddenly, as an afterthought and an aggravated defiance that I could not sit down anywhere and be served food or a coffee, instead treated like some fucking animal by our government drones, I reach into my shopping bag and pull out some chocolate I bought in Aldi. Comfort food. So I snap a piece of chocolate off with a flourish of triumph and stuff it into my mouth, biting down on the Quetzalcoatl nectar that soothes my savage, furious quest for satiation and sweetness. I become conscious that someone is standing behind me, but I ignore it. The lift doors open and a man steps out alongside me. I glance at him, but he demurs, so I push my trolley into the lift and turn my back to my trolley so I can face the doors as we ascend. He is wearing his mask. He nods to me. A man with kind eyes, but that look of semi-predatorial hunger that men get when they think they have got you alone. Oh boy, I think. Here we go. I politely but curtly give him a quick nod back. Then I feel this powerful energy pour through me. Protection, honor, power. I turn to face the front and keep chewing on my chocolate. We both arrive at the second floor. He looks at me. I look at him, expecting him to exit the lift first, as he is unencumbered by a trolley full of food. After you, he says. I stare at him sullenly as though he has done me a great favour that I am not so sure about. Schoolmarmishly and adroitly I reply, "Thank you." His eyes gleam with some kind of triumph or desire. He has heard my voice, Jesus. I drag my trolley out and turn right towards my car, grateful that it is so close to the entrance as it's still raining. The man disappears almost as suddenly as he arrived behind me at the elevator. What was that? I open the boot of my car and I load my car and I drive home into the rain alone, unhindered by any more escalations of spiritual encounters foisted upon me as practice by my angel and or demon matchmaker entity. I told you the other day in my videos how I abhor being matchmade. That includes by discarnate entities. That really ground my gears that day. I was really annoyed. It's actually funny. I get home and unload the groceries and think again. What was that all about? I start receiving vibes from the zombie lover again. It's nearly his birthday and only a few days after the anniversary of meeting him. So it's spiritual and emotional, but I bat it away as if a man loves you. He is present in your life, loyal, faithful, and true. He does not play games, and I have no heart or time or soul left for this endless cyclic soul contract with defunct, disinterested, disingenuous men. And when a new man shows interest, as in lift guy, I feel the energy as an intense abutment of my powerful, witchy, wild woman core, and I block it. Oh, by the way, I painted my nails on Friday night when I went to go dancing. I never paint my nails. Can you see why? I painted them Friday night. It's only Sunday morning. And look, I haven't been out in the garden. I haven't made any jewellery. I've done nothing. But my nails are already chipped. So this is why it's rare that you ever see my fingernails painted. I must have been feeling a little bit frisky that night to paint my nails red. I did my toenails as well. I often paint my toenails because toenails are kind of ugly. But fingernails, never, and I've been reminded why I won't be bothering to do that again. Look at this, all chipped. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what's the point? Just so you can look like some sort of salivating sex goddess. It's just it's just insane, people. But 20 men probably just got an erection right now just at the thought of it. So yes, you are that sad and you are that visual. I'm well aware. I did that for a joke because I don't give out any fucks, and I don't give a fuck. And red fingernail polish was just for my own mischief. And look, waste of time, energy and money. I'd rather be chomping on chocolate. That'll get you going, watching me chomp on chocolate, some of you. Oh dear goddess. Is there one normal man left who's not just lascivious and sitting around jerking off at every little thing right now? Some of them work. Some of them go to work. They work so hard they don't have time for sex. You see, I've lived without sex for so long that it's all become comedic, people. I can't take it seriously. I did almost consider starting something a few months back, but that person was a couch-sitting, time-wasting COVID-idiot and, thought his life was over because he caught COVID. No, the real reason was can't handle the Tanya. Not many men can, darlings. It's not your fault. It's not your personal fault, but I got done over by too many predators since early childhood. So if I smell something's not quite right with you, I can't engage. Sorry. Like that creepy bald guy on Friday night, by the gods. He was very triggering. Anyway, it's probably a pedophile. It's probably what's wrong. I can almost smell it on them. It's like, they really creep me the fuck out. He may not be a pedophile, but there was something really very, very wrong with that man that night. He had no boundaries at all. He finally got kicked out when he was trying to shove his face in the camera that was filming the band. So, I wish he'd got kicked out earlier. But anyway, not to worry. Sometimes people get, they get some opportunities in life to redeem themselves. And that's fair. That's fair. Got to give people a bit of a long leash at times. Then watch them hang themselves, literally. Dickheads. Anyway, here I write. And no, I am not lonely. Not lonely enough to engage with strangers and seduce them into another nightmarish go-round on my figure-8 infinity dance of love that orbits my life then draws close enough to set my blood running in my veins, then disappears from my core because ineptitude or fear or misplaced potential violence. I've outlived all the games that men play. Not today, boys. Not today. Quetzalcoatl and me sat on my couch and devoured the rest of the chocolate in glee. Happiness. Quetzalcoatl and I. We're simpatico. So that was written in 2022, I believe. So 2 years later, I'm blossoming and actually talking to men and being friendly and engaging with them and welcoming them into my auric field and letting them have an opportunity to communicate with me and show their heartfelt intentions. And I'm feeling lots of love and affection for certain friends, and knowing that of course it'll go no further because they're married, that person's married, and my other married friends and my other single platonic friends. And I'm keeping that love in a carefully contained, safe, preciously guarded emotional container because I want to preserve those relationships for the long term, right? And but I wonder if they really want me in their lives. You know, it was cute when Peter rang me the other day, probably a bit pissed because it gets on the terps. You know, when he invited me to come and see his mum, and he was so sweet. How when I picked up the phone, I said hello, Peter, because I knew it was him. It kept showing up on my phone, right? And so I said, oh, hello, Peter. And he says, Miss Coco wants to know if Mama T still loves her because Miss Coco misses her Mama T very much. It was delightful, you know. I thought, oh, he's a bit pissed out, our Peter, but he can be very sweet and delightful. He can also be very savage at times, all the rows we have had. But he's a nice friend overall, if I have to overlook the savagery at times. Some of it was so bad I didn't speak to him for weeks. But, you know, what can I say? But that was cute. So I replied, you can tell Miss Coco that Mama T's love is forever and she'll always love Miss Coco, no matter what. Not so much for certain humanoids. But anyway, he's just went, oh, Coco, Mama T just told me she still loves you. And knowing Coco well as I do, she would have been sitting there with her droopy little French poodle ears, making eyes at him going, because she knows that dog's madly in love with me. That dog is mad. If that dog was a man, I'd feel smothered and be chewing my arm off and running away. But she's a dogged goddess, and she's delightful. She is gorgeous. I do miss Miss Coco. You know, there was a few months when you didn't come past with little Coco, and I actually kind of grieved, you know. Just looking at my neighbour Tim Saar's car. Looks like it's a different car, but it's the same number plate, like a different four-wheel drive. So I don't know. I remember it being a different colour. Maybe he painted the vehicle. Mine needs repainting. All the paint's peeled off. It looks terrible. Thanks, Mazda, for selling defunct paint on your cars in 2012. You dogs. Anyway, Mazdas are very good cars, and I always stick to them, but that was shitty what they did to me and everyone else who bought the cars that year. And they sold it as the best paint ever. I've still got the kit that came with it, you know, going on about how wonderful the paint was, and it was designed by special Japanese scientists. No, it's horseshit. It all peels off your car. Oh well, It doesn't help that I don't have a proper garage to keep it in, so there is that. Anyway, let's be fair. Always be fair and reasonable and stick to the truth. But no, I spoke to the young man, that family friend that put the new tyres on my car. He said, no, that year they had a lot of problems with the paint. Oh, that'd be right. That'd be bloody right. The one time I got money to buy a car and I had to get something that had defective paint jobs, right? Thank goodness the rest of the car isn't defective. Anyway, here I write, still in 2022. Let peace reign in all worlds, especially in this one. Here's looking at you, Russia and Ukraine. Love your children more than you love corruption, greed and warmongering. Wow. Just have to shake your head. 25th of February 2021. Happy Purim, which starts this evening. The Tanya is still a Jew and the Jew is still a witch. I may be without a community after decades of epic vileness, but nothing and no one can take my God away from me. Just remember that, babies. Eat some Hamantaschen and stamp out Haman's name in a shul near you. I also stomp on Hitler's name too. In each generation there arises an oppressor, but the worst oppression was the treachery and vileness of my own community. C'est la vie. Stay in the light, people. God is watching. Smiley face. But then the witch in me will say, which God? There's 5,000 of them. That's why I say God in all manifestations, because I'm real about the fact that it's a big, big, big multiverse. Update 25th of February 2023. I still feel the same way. Eat your Hamantaschen and dance or stomp those evil entities into the bowels of hell, never to be regurgitated again. Turn shits to spiritual gold. Rejoice, be free. Love your beloveds. Nothing and no one else matters. Pardon me. What are you doing, Charlie? Don't chew that. No. No. Your rationale is very sound, but no. She's telling me, I have to, I'm a rainbow lorikeet, I have to do it, Mama. No. I'm quite serious about this. No. Uncle Jared made that for me, I don't want you breaking it apart. She's trying to chew a little red doily that he made for me. Look, my friend is so talented, he can even crochet. Don't you chew that. No. Mummies. Mummies. Uncle Jared made that for Mummy. Another update, 25th of February 2023. I know. Thank you for listening. That's very good behaviour, Charlie. She doesn't usually obey me because she's like me. She does whatever she wants, whatever. I appreciate you, Charlie, being a good girl. We can be good girls, can't we? We can be very good girls. When we're good, we're very, very good. But when we're bad, we're dreadful. 2023. Haha! Some young woman informed me last night that she loved my corset and wished she had my breasts. I informed her they are big, luscious breasts because I have fed babies and gotten fat. They are totally made up of chips and chocolate these days, meaning hot chips and chocolate, or what you call in America, fries. What? She said. I grinned. It's true. When I was a young girl, I only had B cups. Mic drop. She still didn't get it. Fat is a feminist issue, but it does gift you larger boobs, unfortunately. If I lose all my weight, release all the weight, I'll have little B cups again. But think how comfortable that'll be, not dragging all this extra schmaltz around. Oh my goddess. Anyway, it's just extra padding. It's my Bodician armour, my psychiatrist calls it. He's so sweet to me. He really is. He found a way to reframe my fat in a body-conscious, life-affirming way that I could accept without feeling self-conscious about actually being fat. We'll just call it Bodician armouring, and so it is. It really is. I keep myself larger for a reason, people. I used to pray for bigger breasts as a teenager. So be careful what you wish for. Also, I maintain this weight. Oh, here I write, as it's part of my Bodician armouring. I give the illusion of a larger, louder, more carefree woman who can sit you back on your ass if you dare attack me. Been there too many times. Anyway, young one was wearing a sexy black bra under a tailored jacket with black pants. I remember her now. She was gorgeous. She was a gorgeous young woman. She pulled her jacket aside to show me her still perky, very presentable, large enough lung capacitators ensconced in her bra. Nothing wrong with her, Mama Jumblies. So I pulled her jacket back over and said, "That's enough of that display, or they will all want some." She smiled in confusion. There is a fine line between naughty and nice. She arrived with two young men who got rather jealous that she was giving me attention instead of them, so they led her away. She was quite drunk though. Strange little bird. She had similar looks and energy to my former friends Gail and her daughter Lucy, a sense of danger mixed up with sexuality that is so enticing but also a tad fetid. She was dying to meet me and had stood with her two men friends in the corner next to my spot, kind of stalking the lovely couple sitting next to me as she wanted their seats. It was invasive. I was well aware. Lol. The woman sitting nearby had shown me a photo in her phone of her and I together at the Livewire bar. She said it was from 2018. I told her it was lovely that she still kept the photo. I actually didn't remember her till she showed me the photo. I was like, oh, I have danced with her. There's the photographic evidence. But I guess I meet quite a lot of people when I'm out dancing, so I don't always remember people. It's terrible. My memory seems to be fading as I get older too, which is why I make these vlogs and record all my memories, and because like one day I could end up with Alzheimer's like my mother, and that would be an atrocity, but it's not in my control really. Her partner was shy and lovely, tall and a bit geeky. Much later in the night, I enticed him to get up and dance as he was dancing joyfully in his seat. It was dance like an Egyptian. He said to me, "I'm sure this must offend certain cultural backgrounds." I liked that he had considered that, but dryly I replied, "It's just a song from the 80s, and you know, you are allowed to be silly sometimes." So he danced wildly, making all the Egyptian dance motions, and I thought that was delightful. I left at 2 a.m. after the security made a big deal about me taking off my 6-inch stilettos and dancing in my stockings. For fuck's sake. I was crippled after 3.5 hours of dancing. But I can hear Scott from Old Egos telling me, "Wear sneakers, Tanya, wear sneakers." I know, Scott, you're not the only man that criticises me for my poor choices of inappropriate footwear. You and Jared are simpatico on that one. I think my friend Jared would really like you, Scott, by the way. But anyway, why wouldn't anyone like you? You're adorable. Can you tell Mama T's got a little bit of a crush? Behave, Mama T. Put that thing back down. Not yours, Mama T. Okay. Sending kisses and love out to Scott. He knows I'm a silly old chook. He knows I'm silly as a wheel sometimes. It's part of my charm. Part of my charm. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. But I didn't put a spell on him. I was just being my usual charming self. Don't put spells on men. You know why? Because it's terrible when they work out and they get obsessed with you and then you can't get rid of them. Dave. Did I put a spell on Dave? I can't remember. I might have. Oops. No, I think I did a love spell before I met Dave. I think around about 2012. So anyway, do you know what happens when all your love spells come true at once? All the love spells you did over the decades that never did shit and floundered, and all the magic just lay fallow in the darkness like a seed waiting to germinate. Do you know what happens when all your love spells germinate all at the same time? It's a feast. It's also a bit alarming and astonishing. So I had to go back in December because I could see too many men popping up, mad for me, all of a sudden out of nowhere. I think it's because I caught COVID and I now have similar pheromones, because they weren't interested before then. Well, some were, but anyway, it kind of conflagrated around about that time. And I was right, now I've got all these men that are desperate to have me in their life, but they're all unavailable, so it's all a giant tease, right? So I fine-tuned my love spell, which was not done on a particular person, people, so you can all relax about that. But I fine-tuned it that I want the one, the only one that loves me as much as I love him, that is simpatico with me spiritually, emotionally, physically, sexually, mentally, you name it, that is my equal, king to my queen, treats me with honour and integrity and respect, doesn't try and dominate me because that shit will never work, it grinds my gears. And so I fine-tuned it right down, and now I have to wait probably another 20 years for that spell to come out of dormancy and actually manifest in 3D reality in the eternal now, in my body, mind and spirit and psyche, because I can't be dealing with dozens of men popping up, being all ardent and sweet, but they're not available. It's just cray-cray. But on the other hand, love is love, and I'm enjoying the affection and the sweetness from those ones too. It just can't be consummated because they're married, and I I have ethics, and sometimes I think life is short. Let's throw all the ethics out the window, do what we want, whatever, and just be joyful. But no, respect. If you don't have respect for yourself, how can you have respect for any other humans? It starts always from within people. But anyway, I am very fond of my friend Scott. He is a sweetheart, and I enjoy my wild dancing in the club to his fabulous music. Not just his music, but Luke and Paulie's music as well. And we create a wonderful vibe together, and we work as a team, even though I'm unofficially, I'm just one of the customers dancing there, But I'm the unofficial warrior goddess, berserker, shamanic, crazy dancer, right? And they seem to like me doing that, so I'm happy to participate. Very happy. And had a wonderful night last night, Friday night, except for crazy ball guy. Well, that happens. There's always one lunatic in any scene. And where was I? Let's get back to reading. I'm distracted by something. I don't even know how I went on that tangent. I'll look back at this video later and go, oh, but Jesus, Tanya, stop it now. So, oh yes, that's right. It was because I said they wouldn't let me dance without my shoes on. Well, fair enough, occupational health and safety, like I do get it. But I was already preparing to leave. I had I was leaving. They know, because I write here, I had my shawl on, which I usually put on when I'm planning to leave my dance space. So they come to bully me when they already knew I was leaving. That's why I was pissed off. It's like utter wankers. Having their giant cock flog try and dominate me in the dance space, being wankers. Like, Mama T puts her shawl on, 9 times out of 10, she's leaving the building. Anyway, but some of those security were not nice people at the casino. But what can I say? They waited till my dog died to kick me in the face. That's how low grade they are. Cunts. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'd sick Bobo on them, but he's dead now, so that's not going to happen. But, Bobo, next time Mama goes dancing, you have to come with me as my guardian angel, Bobo. And you can just go at all the motherfuckers, and they'll think that I'm a crazy woman, not realise it's my Bobo doing it. Do you like how I made up that whole story? Yeah, well, anyway, you don't want to meet my wolf protector spirit. If you meet my wolf, fucking run, dudes. Anyway, don't trot that one out lightly either. But yeah, something was with me being very protective on Friday night, because I literally went from sitting on the seat, staring very calmly and at the aggressor, to jumping to my feet in a millisecond. Even the men around him all went, yeah. If I jumped to my feet that suddenly, be afraid, be very afraid. As my friend Lynn said, I contain my temper very, very well, because there's no need to be, angry with people and aggressive and unleash things on people. But that one needed dealing with, just saying. He really did. My friend Jo must have thought I was angry as I flounced off, as she texted me, "Bye, see you next Friday, ? Which kind of is a bit sarcastic when you think about it, but I'm the Tanya, Mama T. I do what I want, whatever. It was time to go. I was tired. But here I write, but in truth I was not really all that angry, just dog-tired and over it. And frankly, I was standing in my stockings next to my seat and not flouncing around the floor, so they could have just let me rest my feet for a while. I said to the very handsome security guard, "You try dancing on stilts for hours and let me see how well you walk in my shoes. I'm an old lady now." But yeah, those shoes are killer heels now. They look fabulous, but they are dangerous for my arthritis old lady tootsies. I need to go to Byron and dance barefoot on the beach. All these draconian control dynamics shit me to tears. Freedom to the people and to toes. Anyway, the time is coming very soon when I will have to submit to wearing sneakers, I guess. I guess I will. I will, Scott, I will. Time will take its toll on the Tanya's titillating hobbit toes, and I will no longer submit to being crippled anymore. But Friday I wore my flat, beautiful bohemian sandals that I really love, and they were very comfortable actually. So they were okay. I wasn't in any foot pain when I came home Friday night. I was just exhausted. February 25, 2020. Oh, where did that go? Very unwell today, but Penny is watching over me. My Penny, my beautiful baby girl. There she is, watching over her mummy. Yes, Charlie, we miss Penny. We miss Miss Penny. And we miss Bobo. She yelled out Bobo in her cage this morning. I heard it quite distinctly. Bobo! Was he visiting Charlie? And we miss Socks, and we miss Sophie, and we miss all of them. I did look very pale in that photo there. Big smile, but my face is all washed out. Situation normal. Oh well, my hair's slowly drying, people. We're getting there. Oh. Just heard a crow going outside. Update 25 February 2023. I miss my boys Socks and Sophie and Penny and Bella Rosa and Jeffy and all the chickens and goldfish I lost. So much grief. Here's my Socksy boy. Or Sally and Rachel's Socksy boy too. He was originally their cat and I've looked after him for them. And Sophie. What you doing, Charlie? Are you being a good girl? It's a bit blurry, but here's a happy face for you. (25th of February 2019). Oh, my hair's going to dry all buffy, I can tell. Looks a bit dry. I had to wash it again. I only washed it on Friday, so it's that 2 days. Saturday, so it's too much. It's too often having to wash it. But I'm not well, and the weakness from the being up peeing all night means my hair's getting all lank and oily and horrible, and for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake, Charlie. She's like, no, Mama, no. 25th of February 2019. I woke up after only 4 hours sleep. I slept 12 hours yesterday. It is unusual after such epic exhaustion to not require more sleep. I shall have to trust my body, which is largely calling the shots these days. My poor brain, hypervigilant and processing old traumas. Did you just say Bobo? Sounds a bit like it, doesn't it? It's just running wild, but my body says, enough already. Last night I hurt in strange places. My rib cage and down my spine. My neck still feels stiff from moshing to zombie, laughing my ass off. My former elderly psychiatrist would be so proud of me for reclaiming my life from the gravel rash of obliteration and rising up to stake my claim on my tiny spot of existence. He always believed I would rebirth myself one day, albeit it took a suicide attempt to finally kick-start my new existence. That, and finally culling false friends and former lovers in recent months. Who? Who are you talking to, Charlie? Who? The past 5 years have been quite a threshing floor of sorting the chaff from the wheat and baking some luscious stuff of life. My fucking souffle keeps rising and falling, and I did keep cleaving to false, treacherous people, but I'm finally learning who is real in my life and discarding the overblown borderlines and narcissists like dirty rags. No wonder I feel so exhausted and depleted. But here we go. My house is clean and my mind is free to accept new paradigms of existence that I have only ever dreamed of. It could happen. One day at a time, sweet Moses. Ah, but he too was denied paradise for all his efforts. Thank the gods, I am no prophet, and the wages of my sins will only ever be death, ghetto purging my former zombie self and dancing into the light. It took 10 years and 2 months to finally purge my house of stuff, and 5 years since I fell in love with that dreadlocked English prat, specific here, to recover my heart. He whom insisted I decluttered my house, envious of my hard-won acquisitions. I wonder what the next 5 to 10 years will gift me. Hopefully, the worst is over. I have felt like a record on a disc jockey's table being scratched and shuffled to a cacophonous melodrama. But there is finally a different harmonic resonance. No more cognitive dissonance. I have identified the 2-bit psychopaths and their henchwomen. Now I am free of their evil bullshit. I can breathe again. One came to spy on Friday night. 2 others danced beside me on Saturday night. Oh, and rather weirdly, I saw another one at the crossing on Friday night while driving into the casino on Saturday night. And driving to the casino on Saturday night, I'm pretty sure I was driving behind her mother's car, Gail and Lucy. So I was literally running into them spiritually on a regular basis too for a while. They don't let me go easily, do they? like obsessed much. Fuckers. Anyway. The universe is throwing these past evil motherfuckers at me thick and fast, and I'm just wading through them like chunky gone off chicken soup. I will not let them attach to me again. It took 19 years to get free of some of them, after 15 years of abuse and manipulations. That was the price of my love and friendship, a heavy, heavy price. So now I am determined to thrive. Let's see how that goes. I can barely imagine what that might be like, but baby steps. And here I post a meme. I've got a friend, Linda, in Canada, who always tells me I remind her of Wonder Woman or Xena Warrior Princess, and I just kind of laugh. But it's a little bit true, right? Just a little bit. She needed a hero, so that's what she became. Amen, sister. Have to be your own hero. Have to have your own back at all times, morning, noon and night. Have to be powerful in your core, and you have to discern who all the time wasters and lackluster false lovers are. That took me a bit of doing, by the way. I do have a tendency to love too much. Sometimes the wrong people. Well, too many times the wrong people, unfortunately, at great personal cost. Homes, businesses, lifestyle, safety, sanity, community, tribe, even turning my friends against me, the low-life dogs. Evil was what it was, the purest of evil. But it seems after the COVID thing has finally ending, coming to its natural conclusion, as everything does, some of the evil that was magnified and intensified before even COVID came along, some of it seems to have washed out or no longer hold as much sway over me, and part of that will be me fighting against this epoch with everything I had, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, verbally, gaining in my own mana for standing up for what is right, meant that the gods seem to have blessed me in recent months, years even, maybe the last 2 years, have blessed me with a measure of peace and honour. I have been seen, I have been heard by holy invisible entities that do indeed have my back. Of that I'm certain, 100% certain. So when I say never ever fuck with the Tanya, it's not just some throwaway glib line. I'm perfectly serious. I've been through enough in my early childhood and 20s and 30s and 40s and right up to the last near-death experience when I was 54 in 2019. And that's when the change happened. All the evil people that were false friends and really quite revolting, like Dave and Karen and Tisha and all the other fake people, all just got washed out of my life very gently and gracefully indeed. Just literally stepped away from them like the dirty rags they were. And I keep my circle small. I have beautiful, soul-nourishing, true friends in my life who truly do love and respect me and treat me with honour and kindness. And I'm gradually open up to new friendships, cautiously and gradually, because I have trust issues after my lifetime experiences. But I can see the blossoming coming about after Beauregard's death, which was heinous and distressing. I have been showered with so much love and sweetness and kindness, and it's a way shower. It's a sign that my life is going to continuously get better and better, and in time I will find my love partner too. My love partner as in a committed, loving partnership with a man who adores and values and cherishes me and is loyal and faithful to me. He's coming. I don't know who he is. Probably haven't met him yet, but he's coming, and my life, I'm going to heal from my bladder situation. My psychiatrist is determined that I get the right treatment for that. And then when that settles down, I'll have more energy, and who knows, I might even go back and study or do something a bit more meaningful with my life, you know. And maybe if I have the motivation and the energy, and get myself into a better position than I've been living in for the last almost 59 years. Better position meaning safety, true love, honour and integrity, kindness and sweetness and generosity, and find a way to be able to provide for myself if the true love never comes along. And if he does, find a way that we can be together, sharing resources in honouring, respectful, caring ways. I've been crushed enough by men in my lifetime, people. That's why I'm very fucking gun shy, very fucking wary. It's understandable when you think about it. 25th of February 2018. Trigger warning, sexual assault, child sexual abuse. So go off and make a cup of tea, because I'm going to go off on one of my rants probably. Crystal came to borrow the car so she can go house hunting. See how everything was for my daughter? Never mind. A mother loves with everything she has. Sometimes you say it best when you say nothing at all, people. So I'm sitting here, hungry as a horse on acid after running a marathon, 2 nights of dancing, feeling brittle and fragile and exhausted, so making chips in my air fryer, yum. I had a lovely time, but now my body will make me pay for it. Such is my life. It is awesome in so many ways. Last night, some young guy tried to kiss me and ran his fingers over my crotch. Dirty on life, because his mother walked out on him when he was 5. He just turned 30. I was thinking how I wished my asshole, monstrous mother had walked out on me instead of inflicting more pedophiles and creeps on my childhood. Anyway, young broken man wanted sex from me. So I told him I was asexual, which is partially true, having been celibate for over 3 years. And that he was, well, it's 9 years now. Take that as a badge of honour too. And that I said he was too young for me and sent him on his way. After his filthy little grope, I thought to myself, Perhaps he takes after his father, and that was why his mother ran off. Or perhaps he was just a drunk, bitter little predator like 80% of the men I meet out in the night. Anyway, no harm, no foul. I was just too tired to even bother slapping him one. So tired of a sad, lonely, abusive, treacherous existence. Too bloody tired. I barely have any libido left anyway. Thank God for that. I am more powerful in my masculine energy these days. It is what it is. The great gift of trauma, disassociation, and dealing with fuckers. Sighs. I wish. Never mind. He was never going to love me as I am. None of them were. I have had to be my own woman and inner man and furious inner child for so long. I am my own beloved. I keep myself precious for the gods, my true heart and sharpened mind. I was not created for the average male. I will embody my bliss, my beauty, and my breath, and believe in myself, the goddess of desire and fire and integrity. (2018). Yes, it is 9 years, 6 years later. Just time seems to be slipping in and out like one of those sine, cosine slide rules that we used to have. I'm not into mathematics, people, but it just feels like it's just moving in and out of reality. It's probably because I'm exhausted though. I get like that when I'm exhausted. I move interdimensionally, and reality can be a bit kind of odd. But it's why I fight so hard to maintain my own personal truth at all times, to remain grounded in my reality. And why I found the whole COVID thing so fucking obscene, because I could see the bullshit from the very, very beginning, the lies that we were being told. And I hate being lied to by anything and anyone. I might smile sweetly at you while you're lying to me and you'll think you've got away with it, but I usually know. Just walk away and I just think, what a fucking idiot. You'd be surprised how many idiots are out there that will lie right into your face and think that you don't know. It's very amusing at times. One of the cats has acted out this morning by A, shitting on the bathroom floor, and B, urinating on my dining table. This often happens after I've been out on the weekend nights dancing. A hell of a protest. I suspect Sophie, bastard insane cat. But I gave her a cuddle and brushed her fur even as I plotted the prospect of putting her to sleep. She is mentally unstable. What can one do but clean up after the lunatics in my life? It was easily cleaned up. Lucky it was not in clothing or bedding. But my dining table, fuck my life. What a peculiar place to pee. She can't pee on my computer table anymore, as I keep the door shut to the front lounge at all times. Pardon me. She did at one time pee on my computer. But look, she was a crazy cat, but she was lovable. No one's perfect, right? So now it is the dining table. Holy hell. I put her outside now. She can stay there for the rest of the day. Oh, this is a lovely photo. If I could find a human man that loves me that much, it would be delightful. Don't you think? Sweet little boy. What are you doing, Charlie? Charlie? What are you doing? What? Are you okay? You're acting a bit weird, Charlie. Here I post a meme. We're living in the darkness. We hate the day. Oh, you have to laugh. Oh, the minds that think about these things, it's just delightful. But it's true, it's a bit like that. That's how I look first thing in the morning, like, what the fuck? Number one, I'm alive, and number two, I have to function, it's daylight now. I really do function better at night. I really am a night owl. It's just delightful. 25th of February 2017. I had a great night dancing with my beautiful friends last night. Such a great night that the resident Treasury Casino troll attacked me again. She must really love me, as she's been stalking and harassing me for well over 2 years. Lana, such a spiteful little sack of vermin, lol. I just told her to keep away from me, you ugly, creepy troll. But to be honest, it is kind of disgusting how the security permit her to harass and bully me, and when I stand up for myself, attempt to demonize me. Interesting. Apparently being a free spirit with a love of music and dancing, being surrounded by friends who enjoy themselves without envy or malice is enough to upset some people. If only Lana would discover that by her vengeful, spiteful actions, she only continuously makes herself look very nasty and small. She has spent years doing this. I think they eventually banned her. It must keep her fucked mind and fragile ego very busy. All that pent-up hate. I am tired of the bullshit, actually, but she is one, albeit very dedicated enemy, in a sea of people who actually enjoy my company. So, shmeh. (25th of February 2016, 6:35 p.m. Feeling a tiny bit better, enough to put wormwee on the garden plants and walk around feeling slightly less dead. Today, I shouldn't laugh, it was awful. It was awful and cruel. He was a vicious fucking thing, he really was. Today, the man I am in love with told me he won't talk to me anymore as I am too psycho. Another abuser. He would rather dismiss me as crazy than face up to his narcissistic sociopathology. He hung up on me, cold as the grave. So true to form, in my failure to gain love, acceptance and respect, I am experiencing another breakdown. Today it reached its peak. I am stoned as a mullet on 100 milligrams of Seroquel and will remain that way until the emotional pain subsides. I have had to pass out quite often with the heat and the Seroquel, now up and at 'em at 5:32 p.m. Sleep or unconsciousness is the best cure for yet another shattered heart. My doctor spoke to me yesterday and said I've had a breakthrough and that I recognise I deserve to be loved, valued and respected as much as any other person. It is, to use my own words, perfectly reasonable. But the grief and despair remains. I chose another asshole, Dave. Another weapon of my long-term pattern of emotional mental destruction that is a legacy from my childhood. Well, here I am, still holding on to an empty hope and a tragic life. Denial. The gift of walking ass first through life, expecting to be welcomed and embraced at every door. Knock, knock. Who's there? Nobody. Love is cruel. It hasn't gotten any less cruel in 51 years. Just one nightmare after another. Psychedelic dreamers. Paradise. Update, 25th of February 2023. The dirty, evil cunt. He drove past me on Cavendish Road yesterday, not stalking as he was heading towards the city and I was returning from picking up my oxygen gas bottle. But it was still weird. He lives a few suburbs away, so I suppose it's going to happen occasionally that I see him on the road. Usually he just stalks me via the West End drumming circle page, like an ignoble gimp. I guess he misses me, laughing my ass off. So that's interesting because I saw him on the road again on the 13th of December 2023. So yeah, I'm not lying when I tell you he pops up with monotonous regularity. A man that told me I was too psycho and had an ugly vagina wasn't worth knowing. Oh, he's a cunt, isn't he? I should just headbutt him next time. Put him completely out of action. It's a tempting thought, but it's not worth the jail time. And I'm actually, although I have a hellish temper, I'm actually not really a violent person at all. It's just talk, people. But there are some entities on this planet, like him, and the shit he put me through for years, when all I did was love, and love more, and even more. And the viciousness that he and Lana and Sarah Burt put me through. They really don't deserve to coexist on planet Earth with me. They really are scum. But what can you do? Only God is the true judge. And I'm living my best life now, free of the scum, and surrounding myself by people who say they love me and blow me kisses and seem quite heartfelt. So there is that. I can only go by actions, words and deeds and intentions. And Dave showed me by his own words and his own actions and his own intentions many, many times that he had no real love for me and was indeed a monster. By your actions shall I judge you, by the way. So I pray to all the gods and all manifestations of love, light, truth, healing, holiness, that I never fall in love with an asshole like that ever again, and that I eventually find my one and only, my Bichette, my truly loving partner. and that he finds me and makes a beautiful commitment to me based on deep, true, honouring love. Some car just pulled up, but it's clearly not for me because they're reversing, and I don't know whose vehicle that is anyway. It's weird. There's been a lot of traffic again today. It's very weird. What's today? Sunday. I suppose people visit their families and have lunch and hang out, you know. People that have people who love them. Just saying. I must not become bitter. Life is still beautiful for me, and I fought hard for it, people. I really have. My front tooth crown is loose. Oh, Jesus. I will have to ask for a dental voucher tomorrow. I don't think the public system will fix it. So pissed off as I only got it done early 2013 with my inheritance. Crowns should last longer than 3 years. Fuck my life. So I'll be back to looking like a toothless old crone again. Just went to Bunnings to buy sanding paper blocks to sand my wooden book covers with. I had been told dogs are welcome at Bunnings, so I walked in with him on a leash. He played with a toddler. The mother enjoyed his interaction. Next thing I know, a staff member was screaming at me that he had to be carried or walked with a muzzle, so I carried him. But it put me off buying any other items. Too hard to pick up stuff with a dog under one arm. So I bought the sanding blocks and left. Should have just told them to fuck off, quite frankly. Not go to their store ever again. Here I write, fucking idiots. She said there was a sign at the front door, but there was not. So I told the doorwoman that I am insulted. She pointed to a small sign in the wall behind her. I said, that is not on the front door. Fucking nuts. The nanny state is out of control. Fear and hatred and persecution of people doing normal things. Different if he was a vicious animal or if he had been off leash. Anyway, he's dead now, so I don't have these first world problems dealing with fourth world fuck knuckles, but what can you say? It's really awful how I've been treated. Really fucking awful. After I dropped out of varsity at 18, I was still working part-time at Susie's Coffee Lounge. I had a transvestite man come up to me. What have you done? Do you know who you could have been? I hoped you would be New Zealand's first female Chief Justice. I looked at him sadly, amazed to see how he valued me. I had always accepted him, even when he dressed as a dour old matron, and when I set down his coffee, I would call him Madam instead of Sir. I said, I know I have failed miserably, but I will just be happy if I grow up to be kind. I had lots of very unusual customers in that shop. The flamboyant owner and its position in Willis Street near the city centre attracted them. Susie van der Kwast. She was delightful, but like me had a hellish quick-fire temper that could blaze up out of nowhere and just as quickly disappear. It's one thing I liked about her. She wasn't one to carry a grudge. We would flare up and it would flare back down and then it was done. When I started there, in the middle of my school certificate examinations, stressed out of my gills, my mother the narcopath and Susie too, hoping to sabotage my marks. I was ordered to chase customers down the street who'd given up on the long queues to get in and get a seat. Come in, come in. I assure you there will be a seat for you. New Zealanders, unaccustomed to brash chutzpah in a 15-year-old girl under orders from her greedy boss, would simply oblige. It used to amaze me. Susie informed the managers that I was her little hostess, which caused undue jealousy and conflict. And by the way, I didn't get an increase in my pay or hostess wages either for $3.54 an hour, with all that added stress. Until I snapped one evening and told my Māori manager, who was Reimer, that I had been abused all my life, including at school, and I would be damned if I was going to let that happen at work as well. I stated I was only there to do a job, earn my pittance of money, and then fuck off home for some peace, which, by the way, there was never peace in my home life either, but I was using poetic hyperbole there, wishing that there was somewhere where I could have some fucking peace even at 15 years of age. I reminded her that Susie had known me from childhood and it would not go well if I laid a complaint about the bullying. She looked at me, blushed. Then we became the best of friends. She and her sister Monica took me pub crawling when I was only 16. They introduced me to every pub in Wellington, even the Royal Tiger, the roughest pub in town. But they also protected me and taught me to stand up for myself, even in bad company. Hilarious. The men, for their part, delighted, in my stoic strength and chutzpah and cheeky banter and sense of humour. That was my training ground to real life, not university, laughing my ass off. Another hellish day, extra Seroquel for me. Sit in the sunshine with a cup of tea and my dog and contemplate my options. Read between the lines, contemplating my options is Tanya speak for. I'm trying to figure out if life is still tenable or whether I'm going to get off the fucking bus, Gus. If you ever say I'm contemplating my options, that's code, people. Most people are too dumb to realise though. Anyway, I've cleaved to life against my own better judgment, waiting for the mythical better times are coming that my Auntie Sylvia always tried to motivate and encourage me with. And Auntie Sylvia, the better times are here now. We're just waiting for my truly beloved one to choose me and start something fabulous and life-affirming and soul-nourishing and passionate and romantic and delightful. A real man for a real woman. Then I can change my code of contemplating my options to having all my options manifest in a beautiful, powerful, loving way, so I can have the life I always dreamed about, even as a young girl. I have to shake my head. It just seems too illusory and out of reach, but my spirit knows he's coming, my beautiful man who adores me. 25th of February 2015. My body wants to dance, but both ankles hurt today. Without seeing a doctor, I have come to the conclusion that hurting my left ankle and feet on the 14th of February, dancing in inappropriately too high shoes, glamorous but crippling, has activated my septic arthritis symptoms. No sign of infection or swelling, but constant arthritic pain in the ankles, both ankles today. Nuts. No dancing this weekend, methinks. Just cameo appearances. Walk on, walk off, or sit and plutz like the half of century I am. I will not go into older age quietly. I slept the sleep of the zombies for 20 years. Now my feet just have to accept the inevitable. I am not ready to hang up my boots yet. Time to fly, my pretties. Cackle, screech, hack, wheeze, breathe in, breathe out, rinse and repeat until I die. Okay, flying might not quite be an option, but I can stagger, lumber, and crawl. Boy, am I tired. By the way, I am writing this mode of operations from Sacred Space Heart Quarters in my garden, drinking tea, getting much needed fresh air and sunlight before I start biting necks and feasting on human blood. Like, ooh. I did devour a block of hazelnut chocolate during the night. Miss Five insisted. Miss Five chooses to forget that Ms. Almost 50 does not have the metabolism of a 5-year-old, but she is cute and wanted her precious. Size. I will never get old while I have that brat running the show. She is awesome though. I should take her out to play. We need Byron Bay, my other precious. Update, 25th of February 2023. Lol. Happy anniversary, crippled feet. Queen of inappropriate footwear strikes again. I am okay though, which is weird. They don't hurt too badly today. I must have really needed that dance after the bad anxiety of my gas torch setup yesterday. I am a successful, beautiful, talented, wild woman. As long as I don't blow myself up or accidentally gas myself, everything I need to achieve, have ever achieved, is and or was on the other side of fear, including starting new relationships, people, which is sometimes my greatest fear. Not the romantic sweetness in the beginning, but the putrid ugliness when it goes wrong at the end. Well, I have reasonable fears of that for very good reason. Earned that on the threshing floor of life, didn't I? Thanks to people like Dave and Terry Rosilio and David Davidson and Michael Aarons. But never mind. So on I dance, regardless of how my feet react. Footloose, not footless, and restless, or even berserker in Brisbane. My fur children await Demama's epic, slowly dying snoring and forgetting to breathe, lol. Bastet guarding my journey into the underworld and back again. You have to laugh. There's my little babies waiting Mama to enter her dream state. so they could guard me during my sleep. Our little Mushu was so cute. He really was. Penny was cute too. I'm a bit cute too, in my mind. Well, someone out there thinks I'm cute. Maybe. 25th of February 2014. My romantic life is finally getting interesting. Oh dear God. I notice 2 men are vaguely interested. No one has claimed me for his partner yet. Vague floundering efforts aren't a serious enough sign that either of them is into me in a positive way. I must say I did enjoy the freaked out hovering of the hummingbirds, desperately seeking nectar, when they observed me actually sitting down and, oh my gosh, talking and smiling with a man. They almost died. Too late, suckers. Psychedelic dreamer won't play games. You are in her life or you are out. I abhor game players. However, it did my crushed ego a lot of good to see how my beautiful, sweet women friends gathered around to make sure I was okay. I love you so much, my angels. It was heartwarming to see you return the compliment for every time I have protected you girls also. Even the gentleman in question commented that he had been dying to chat with me for months, but I am always dancing. Never occurred to him that I do that on purpose, laughing my ass off. He said, "What is different that you are sitting down and chatting?" I laughed, said, "It's very simple. I'm vulnerable and broken down because I snapped my back the other day, so I can't possibly dance all night like I normally do." Lol. Note to self, be broken more often so the shy, vague ones can step up to the mark to talk to me. If I feel like talking to a man, that is. Update, 25th of February 2023. What is different? I should have given that one a big miss. The evil, treacherous, vicious little cunt. The biggest game player of them all still circles around me like a fucking corpse-eating vulture. But don't worry, the gods granted this zombie a reconfigured heart and a mind capable of finally seeing through his bullshit. So I keep flying, dancing, writing, and loving. He and his ilk failed to kill me, so roll over, motherfuckers. The Tanya is moving on through that morass of evil. Indeed I am. The best he could do was stalk me at the red light, and when I first went to Brooklyn Standard, his lackluster cousin danced around me in circles most of the night. That's the best they can offer the Tanya, their weakness and inadequacy and acapism and sadomasochism and viciousness. Although to be fair, Chris wasn't vicious that night. He was just obsessed. And when he saw Scott mouth to me, "I love you," and I mouthed back, "I love you too," Chris nearly shat himself. They hadn't realised that after years of dancing in the music scene in Brisbane, for the same bands and various venues for many, many years, 13 years, that I might actually have finally got some real friends. Oh, did that upset him? He kept looking at me in astonishment. Ground his gears. Well, keep grinding, Chris and Dave, because not only were you never real with me, but you were very rarely respectful also. So you can just slough off, honeys. I saw my psychiatrist briefly today to pick up my script. Told him I'd met a nice guy. This was how much I was taken with Dave at the time. Even told my psych that I thought I met a nice guy. Well, I had no idea, did I? Completely fooled by the fake charm. It's sickening is what it is. But anyway, he was like, oh wow, so happy because he wanted me to find my true love partner at long last, right? This was back in 2014. 10 years later, still waiting, babies. But I'm okay with that. I'm waiting for the one and the only one who loves me truly and deeply and honouringly and will make a commitment to me and be my partner, not those other lackluster entities like Dave and the other men I had brief things with at the casino. No. It's not what I want for my life. I didn't want it back then either, but I thought I was opening up to love potentiates with nice people. Oh dear God. I was like the lamb to the slaughter, wasn't I? Over and over again. But they didn't completely crush me. Here I am, holding my own after all these years. So fuck them. I just laughed. Then he said he didn't think I had an appointment until April. I said, no, doctor, I'm sure I have one in March. I can't go that long without seeing you. You are my lifeline. Then I patted him on his chest and declared, and my hero. And so he is, one of the few men in my life to actually be a hero to me. Actually cares about my survival and thrival on this planet. The dear sweet man who is the only male alive who totally gets who and why I am, blushed. So sweet. So I said, I know that sounded kind of creepy, huh? He said, no, it's nice. Now why can't I find a sexual partner who is as awesome with me as my doctor? He really made my day. I love how he freaked out about me meeting some guy. I said, next session, doctor, hopefully I will have some positive stories to tell you. Well, I didn't, did I? Never mind. A friend of mine has worked out an ingenious method of solving her noisy bat plague problem. She taped 4 hours of their screeching and played it back to them by day. How's that for thinking outside of the square? Those poor bats, but they kind of deserved it. She also put her transistor radios slightly off the station so they only hear the static, the dreadful sonic annoyance of it. Laughing my ass off. Tonight they are very quiet. They got the message that they have been very inconsiderate neighbours and they got a dose of their own medicine. Bats like their peaceful sleep, just like the rest of us. Love it. The same friend also found a way to keep the possums away from her precious fruiting tree. She put a fence around it of that orange mesh plastic type fencing and planted raspberry canes to trail up it. So far, the rare and precious one ripe fruit has not been taken. That's her Japoticaba tree that we constantly struggle to get any fruit on it because the bats and the possums just strip it bare. Clever woman, So proud of her. She is indeed a very clever woman. I'm going to the Hip Shooters on Friday night by hook or by crook. I might have to borrow the $10 cover charge, but it's going to happen. Stamps feet. I do enjoy the Hip Shooters as well. Haven't been to any of their gigs in a long time, but wonderful men. And I really enjoy Billy Williams' art, and he posts the most amazing art on his Facebook. He's my Facebook friend, and very talented, wonderful man. To you, Billy. It's funny though, when I see him at his gigs, we usually just smile and wave from the distance, very shyly, you know. I don't usually approach him, but I'm fangirling you, Billy. I'm fangirling you. You know how much I love you, Billy, from a distance. Anyway, he is a lovely man, and he inspired me. He posted up during the COVID years, I think it was 2021. He posted up some photos he'd taken of his beautiful, he was doing inlaid work in timber, probably to inlay his guitars. And it was just so spectacular. He's just such a brilliant artist that I fangirled him so much. I said, Billy, I want to learn how to do that too. So he inspired me, and I actually did inlay little power dots. I'll show you. Have I showed you before? I can't remember. I'll show you again. I did inlay power dots in my cabinet that I got for free in 2022. Can you see all the little little dots? Yeah, I kind of did a bit of a rough job, but it was my first attempt. I was very proud of it. So I'm thinking about one day getting mother of pearl, and in the squares in between, like here, inlaying mother of pearl. So then it would be white, blue, white, blue, white, blue, and mother of pearl reflects the light beautifully. It might even make it more brighter. But that's a shit ton of work, and it was a shit ton of work just doing those. But I love it, and I got it for free, and I upcycled it, made it beautiful. Here's a little, it's not a voodoo doll, it's a healing doll that Jared made for me. He said it's got a crystal in it, and I should lay it on my sore spots. Or lay it on my kintsugi'd heart. Dear heart, open only for one who truly loves you, dear heart. Oh, but anyway, I wanted to show you, I also inlaid, this was an old earring that kind of was an odd one and was a bit broken, so I sort of recarved it a little bit, and then I inlaid it into my grimoire. And so yeah, I was really happy that I got inspired to learn how to do inlay from my beautiful friend Billy Williams of the Hip Shooters. Name dropping here. Sounds a bit precocious, I know, but I do follow his band, have done. And and I follow him on Facebook too. And so there is that. Yes, so here we are. We're at 25th of February 2013. Crystal got a lead role today playing the mother in a play called Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. It's a very famous play, people. She is so excited. She now has work until September. So awesome. And thus concludes today's readings. Oh, finished at 1:11 p.m. Make a wish, people. What do I wish for? What do I always wish for? May it come true. And yes, have a beautiful day, people. My friend Belinda Daniels is right. The skies have cleared. There's blue skies in amongst of all that cloudiness and bit messy clouds still over in the west, but so drumming will be happening in I've got to leave about 4. It starts at 4:30, so I've got 3 hours roughly, just under 3 hours. So anyway, where was I? Oh yes, wishing you a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the space-time continuum on planet Earth, or wherever these messages from YouTube reach out to the multiverses. Hello, multiverses. Can you please answer my prayer for a truly loving partner who treats me with sweetness and kindness and generosity and affection and romance, and maybe we'll have passionate, wild, beautiful sex together one day, you know, when we form a proper commitment and it's real, people. And may we be a happy couple like all the other happy couples I see when I'm out dancing. May I have that in my own life. And someone who is on my page, you know, that understands my unique blend of spirituality and religiosity, and understands my shamanic walk and understands me, but who is capable of being a wonderful partner to me. I think that's a reasonable prayer. It's not imposing on anyone's free will, is it? I hope not. They have to come to me clean and clear of their own free will, and they have to demonstrate to me their heartfelt intentions by consistency and by, kindness and honour and respect for me as a woman, as a soul, as a being. And it goes both ways, people. We don't want any more days telling me that I'm ugly and useless and have a fucked personality. What did he say to me one time? Oh, you're too emotional, you're too psycho, I don't like your personality. Well, all those things he said about me, it's weird how he still trawls after me at every opportunity. He probably made a curse for his own back by being such a bastard to me that now he will never be free of me for the rest of his life, babies. And not my monkey, not my circus. The important thing is that I'm free of him and his bullshit now, and that I'm opening up to love again. Real, genuine, authentic, delightful, gorgeous, passionate loves. That is mine. One true love, not loves plural. I mean, I love my friends and I have, platonic loves, but I'm talking about for a sexual partnership, it must be someone that chooses me and only me, because I'm monogamous when I'm involved with someone. I don't like that triangulations and viciousness and all that sick kind of lifestyles that involve multiple partners and hurting other people. I find that depraved and sadistic, and it's not my bag, people. It's not something I choose willingly anyway. Dave used to love to come to the casino and trawl his latest flames and have them come up beside me and harass the fuck out of me, by the way. I mean, he really was perverted. He was a complete fucking pervert. So if you ever see him around anywhere, I've told him that to his face, by the way. What I say on YouTube, he's been told to his face by me. So if you ever see him around, just remember, he's not for the Tanya. And the Tanya is not for him, because she deserves way, way better than that. Every woman does deserve, at barest minimum, better than what Dave had to offer, which was nothing but emotional abuse and psychic attacks and savagery and viciousness. Based on what? He's an inadequate, pathetic little man who can't go out and dance and enjoy life without tearing down a woman who did actually love him deeply in those days. So, that's his calibre. Low grade. Awful is what he is. That's why I had to laugh when I saw him behind my car. Where can you find a woman? He'll never find a woman like me with my capacity for love, and back in the day even forgiving him, thinking, oh well, he must be right off his nut for whatever reason, did too many drugs or fucked over too many women. But at the end of the day, it's not my problem, not my monkey, not my circus, not my job to heal him of his psychopathology, by the way. So, life goes on. Well, I just had a horrible thought. He, on rare occasions, used to turn up to West End drumming. But if he should turn up today, I'll just be very dignified getting up and walking out, because I'm not ever going to engage with that fucking idiot ever again. Just saying. So, on that warrior goddess note, have a beautiful day, people. Enjoy each day. Enjoy your beloved ones who truly, deeply, honouringly do love you. And slough off the rest. And be happy no matter what, because ultimately your happiness is the best revenge. And I am happy with the people that are in my life right now who show me their sweetness and affection. And I am happy with my home and garden and my little Charlie, even though she's poopy-kinning everywhere. And I am happy with my life as I currently know it. So, happiness is the best revenge, people. Take good care. Love you all. Bye.